In an era where most world leaders are 34 years old, became the world's youngest head of state when he seized power in Burkina Faso. But who is he? A revolutionary hero, a nationalist voice, or another strongman in Africa's long history of military rulers? This is the story of Ibrahim Traoré. Early life and education. Village landscapes, schools, students in class. Born on March 14, 1988, in the western province of Mohound, Traoré grew up in modest surroundings. As a student, he showed sharp intelligence, eventually studying geology at the University of Ouagadougou. His years at university exposed him to activism, where he engaged with student groups that blended nationalist, Marxist, and Islamic ideas. Even in those days, he was known for his discipline and quiet leadership. Military career. Soldiers training, Burkina Faso military drills, UN peacekeepers. In 2009, Traoré joined the armed forces, graduating from the prestigious Georges Namoano Military Academy. His service included anti-terror operations against Islamist insurgents inside Burkina Faso, and peacekeeping missions in Mali. On the battlefield, he earned respect as a capable officer who fought alongside his men. But he also witnessed frustration, poorly equipped soldiers, political leadership that seemed out of touch, and a growing insurgency swallowing villages across the country. Path to the coup. Attacks on villages, news reports of unrest, protests in Ouagadougou. By 2022, Burkina Faso was struggling. Thousands of people had been killed, millions displaced, and jihadist groups controlled large swaths of land. Captain Traoré and other young officers began to believe that the government under Paul-Henri Damiba had failed. In September of that year, their discontent turned into action. The coup and rise to power. Military convoys, soldiers on streets, Traoré giving his first speech. On September 30, 2022, Ibrahim Traoré led a coup d'état. Just 9 months after Damiba had himself seized power, Traoré became head of state. Crowds in the capital celebrated, waving Russian flags and chanting his name. At 34, he was suddenly the youngest leader in the world. His message was simple: restore security, protect sovereignty, and break from failed leadership of the past. Policies and governance. Mining fields, government meetings, rallies, Russian delegations. Since taking power, Traoré has launched reforms aimed at reshaping Burkina Faso's future. He announced the country's first gold refinery, vowed to reclaim control over natural resources, and shifted foreign policy. His government ended military cooperation with France, the former colonial power, and instead sought closer ties with Russia and new regional alliances with Mali and Niger. Supporters call him a patriot who stands against neocolonialism. Critics warn he is trading one dependency for another, while democratic institutions fade into the background. Public image. Supporters cheering, international analysts, critical headlines. To many Burkinabé, especially the youth, Traoré is a symbol of pride and defiance, a leader unafraid to challenge Western powers. But others see a different story: delayed elections, tighter restrictions on press freedom, and continuing insecurity. For the US and Western nations, his pivot toward Moscow raises new questions about influence in Africa. The road ahead. Sahel landscapes, soldiers on patrol, children in refugee camps. Burkina Faso's challenges remain enormous. The insurgency still threatens the state. Humanitarian crises deepen, and the promise of democracy has been postponed. Can Traoré's leadership truly deliver stability? Or will his rule become another chapter in Africa's long cycle of military governments? The world is watching. Conclusion. Ibrahim Traoré's rise reflects a shifting Africa, where younger generations seek leaders who promise dignity, sovereignty, and strength. But history will judge him not by his bold words, or the power he seized, but by the legacy he leaves. Because true leadership is not in the echo of speeches, but in the lives transformed.